Greetings and good afternoon from Bernalillo on the outskirts of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Today we are taking the New Mexico Railrunner commuter service from here to Albuquerque's Alvarado Transportation Center. There are two different stations that actually have Bernalillo in their name: Downtown Bernalillo Station, which is the one I am at, and Bernalillo County Station, which is south of Albuquerque's Alvarado Transit Center, so definitely don't go to the wrong station. While it serves the Railrunner, Amtrak Southwest Chief does not stop here. Downtown Bernalillo Station really doesn't have much to show. There are a couple of benches where passengers can sit and wait for their train, as well as a couple awnings for shelter to shade people from the sun and the rain, but beyond that, there's little else. Strangely, there are no kiosks at the station, a fact that I will clear up later in the journey. Now, if you've seen last week's video, you'll remember that I stated at the end that we would be taking the Railrunner from Albuquerque to Belen, but we're in Bernalillo, well north of where I said that we would start our journey. So, why is that? Well, the plan was to take the Railrunner from Albuquerque to Belen. However, and when I looked at the schedule, I figured that it would not coincide well with my schedule to film the Southwest Chief later in the day, so I decided to, instead of going from Albuquerque to Belen and back, I decided to just head up to Bernalillo and take it to Albuquerque's Alvarado Transit Center, ensuring that I would be able to film the Southwest Chief later in the day. I know this isn't exactly the video I said I'd be posting, but I hope it's good enough. From the station, we can get a great view of the Sandia Mountains protruding in the distance. The Sandia Mountains are a mountain range that separate the Sangre de Cristo Range from Bernalillo County. These Sandia Mountains are a beautiful sight to see while waiting for your train to arrive. Looking off into the distance, a set of headlights begin to appear, a sign that our train was approaching. Our train's consists of a Motive Power Incorporated MP40PH-3C locomotive with 3 Bombardier bi-level cars in tow. Our train soon pulls to a halt and we can climb aboard.
I think middle.
Seating on these Bombardier bi-levels is configured in tables of 4, with some groups having a table in the middle that they can use to either snack on or get some work done. These seats have also recently been overhauled, with the new upholstery being placed on every seat. Departure from Bernalillo is on time, and we soon begin our 45-minute journey to Albuquerque's Alvarado Transit Center. Now, I stated that there are no kiosks at the train station, so why is that? Well, as it turns out, people actually buy their tickets once they are on the train. This was rather unexpected, seeing as I had heard that there are usually kiosks for commuter and corridor trains, and even some long-distance trains at pretty much any station, so it was a bit of a surprise. However, it worked just as well, so be prepared to buy your ticket on the train and to not find kiosks at the station for a first-time rider.
As you can see,
The train conductor soon stops by and gives us this display of the Railrunner's weekday schedule. This emphasized that I was on train 513, a mid-afternoon weekday southbound train. This is one of the trains that will actually go the full route from Santa Fe to Belen. The train used to run just between Albuquerque and Belen, however it was recently extended further north to the capital city of Santa Fe. We can get a great view of the desert in the distance, providing for some truly spectacular scenery. Usually when I think of commuter trains, I don't usually think of them as scenic, however the Railrunner sure is a scenic ride. For a good portion of the ride, we were running parallel to none other than the famous Route 66, a famous highway linking Chicago and Los Angeles. Both the Rail Runner and the Southwest Chief run parallel to 66 for this stretch of track. As we cruise south, let's take a look at the seating on these Bombardier bilevels. The seating groups are incredibly spacious, with more than enough space to stretch out and get comfortable beneath the seat that is facing you. As stated when boarding, this coach had also been recently refurbished. The new upholstery on each seat is certainly a step up from the old and is more than comfortable enough for this 45-minute ride. The seats still remain to be the same red color that they were during the old days, however the bird that used to be on there has been removed. On the side of each headrest is a handbar. I'm not sure what the purpose of them is, but I assume that it's something to grab on in case the train ever lurches. There are luggage racks above the seats just like on any passenger coach where passengers can store their luggage. Note that this is just one big rack instead of individual sections, which is expected for a commuter train, so be prepared to not have your luggage being separated from the others. Unlike on Amtrak Superliners, there are no lights right above the seats, however there is one long aisle light that spans the entire car. On the wall here are two outlets that allow passengers to charge their devices. This comes in handy seeing as this is a commuter rail service and many people do this for work, and it's not surprising that some people would probably need to get some work done. However, seeing as they're the only ones here, they're pretty much seeming inaccessible to aisle passengers. We soon start to lose the desert as more trees start to block our view of the distance. The Sandia Pueblo is our next stop. One thing that this place is known for is having a 107-acre wide preserve for American bison. American bison back in the 1800s were hunted almost to the brink of extinction. However, thanks to efforts to protect them today, they have now made a great comeback. We soon depart the Sandia Pueblo, continuing south through Bernalillo County. We soon began heading by what appeared to be perhaps either a construction site or a mine. If it was a mine, I didn't approve of it, as mining is quite environmentally dangerous. Continuing south, we soon begin to enter more urban areas as more houses and buildings begin to surround the tracks. Los Ranchos is our next stop. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of the train to get a good look, so this was the best I could get. After a couple minutes, we depart Los Ranchos and continue onward. Departing Los Ranchos, the conductor gave me what appeared to be some kind of magazine. It may have actually just been some kind of safety instructions, as there are some things that say things about safety highlighted in green at the top. Yeah. Montano is our penultimate stop en route to Albuquerque. Much like on many other stations on the route that I've experienced so far, there really isn't much there, pretty much just a platform, some benches, and an awning for shelter. Departing Montano, a couple of desert rock formations protruded in the distance, providing for some truly great scenery. Before arriving in Albuquerque, let me explain my overall opinion on the Rail Runner. Overall, it's not a bad commuter service, however I do think there are some improvements that should be made. First of all, after the rescheduling that I had to do with the Rail Runner, I think that more trains to the schedule would really come in handy in terms of allowing passengers to get where they need to go and when they need to get there. And second, electrifying the track would not be a bad idea, seeing as there are already plenty of other commuter rail services in the United States that are already electrified. With all that said, the Rail Runner may not get enough demand to have more trains to the schedule, and also it may not have the money or the permission to electrify the tracks. Those are just things to bear in mind about the Rail Runner, but for now the Rail Runner is the way it is, so we're just gonna have to live with it. Just a couple minutes later, we soon arrive in Albuquerque's Alvarado Transportation Center. As I was getting off, and apparently some other YouTubers have noticed this, but despite being called Bombardier bi-level cars, they're basically tri-level cars, seeing as there is actually basically a third level towards the end of each car. Before our train leaves, let's get a look at the locomotive that hauled us here. Having led us down to Albuquerque's MPI MP40PH-3C number 108. These locomotives were built by Motive Power Incorporated in Boise, Idaho in the early 2000s. I don't know a whole lot more about these locomotives, but comment me down below if you do know more about them. Trailing locomotive 108 are 3 Bombardier bi-level cars. These cars are used commonly in commuter trains in the western United States, and the Rail Runner is no exception. Stop complete, train 513 continues on towards Belen. Train now gone, we can end today's video. I came back here later this evening to film the Southwest Chief, so check out that video on the second channel. Anyways, in the next video, I'll be back in Austin, Texas for a 2-segment flight out to Ecuador through Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Anyways, if you enjoy my videos, I suggest that you like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and the content that I produce. There are many more attractions to visit and rides to go on, and so stick around so you don't miss them. Anyways, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I will see you all next time. Take care.